Yeah, good, good. Feel pretty blessed to be back in Australia, to be honest. Yeah, yeah. It was just one of those. I feel like I got a lottery when they gave me a boarding pass to get out. Yeah. So obviously, look, I guess it scaled up pretty quickly. We had in Argentina we had like very few cases, maybe 30 or 40 cases. That was a couple of weeks ago, and the Argentine government just all of a sudden, I don't know whether they were observing. They got very close relationships with Italy and Spain. There's a lot of Italian and Spanish community in Argentina. So I think that on seeing what was happening over in those two countries, and obviously Argentina having not the same level of healthcare that first world countries have, I think that they kind of thought, well, if we can try and get on top of it and take a bit of a load off our health system. So they went into lockdown mode pretty quick. They started putting things in place, shutting down borders pretty quickly. So it went, from like just I guess being in the first few weeks. Argentina's probably I reckon about a couple of months behind Australia in terms of having their first coronavirus cases. But geez, they really quickly they started closing borders down, and I look, I was very fortunate to be able to catch a flight out to be back to meet Siobhan back here in Australia. In our case, we didn't make a decision based on the pandemic. It wasn't because of coronavirus that we came back to Australia. We've got a second baby on the way, and yeah, thank you. And so it was all kind of planning towards that, coming back to Australia to have the baby, share that with the family, and then we were going to make a move back to South America. We're in chats with ACCI, with the missions department, and Capital Edge Church about a possible step into Uruguay. So we were finishing up a season. We've been in Argentina for 4 years, and we felt that kind of was the next step was to go to Uruguay. It's a very I guess it's a very atheist nation, unlike a lot of other countries in South America. Uruguay doesn't have the Catholic background that a lot of countries do, and so they consider it the least evangelized country in South America, as a matter of fact. So yeah, so for that and a number of other reasons, we felt that the next move for us was, and Uruguay is only a couple of hours from Argentina. It's not a long distance. We'll still be connected to all the stuff and all the teams that we built in Argentina from Uruguay. But now, as you mentioned, with things the way they are, we don't really know what the re-entry back to South America is going to look like. There's a lot of factors that at the moment are unknown. We don't know whether this thing's going to blow over in 6 months or whether we're going to be here for another year, and then obviously we got to go with what's at hand. We'll continue to serve the church, and we'll continue to serve the local churches here in Australia, and see what God does. I mean, obviously, our heart is our goal is as soon as we had the baby to go back to South America. Um, but at the moment, I guess we're at the mercy of God's timing on things, and we'll just wait patiently. Yeah. In May, end of May. So yeah, is it? Nice. What day? 18th. I think she's due like closer to the end, 27th, 20th, around there. It's a girl, yes. Yeah, yeah. We do. It's going to be called. We're going to name her Talia. Yeah, yeah. So we try and pick names for our children that they can pronounce them phonetically in both languages, so that they if we take them to a Spanish speaking country, they can pronounce the name there, and then in Australia they can pronounce the name here as well. So we're trying to make the name cross cultural if we can. Yeah, look, I think for now, for us, really, the main thing is just to be praying for us, and to pray for for what's, because there's always a fine line between faith and stupidity, and we don't want to go, we don't want to put our family at risk, but we also don't want to not make a move due to fear either. So and that's the spot we want to live in, a place where we're looking after ourselves, where we're being diligent with our health and our well-being. But also, not because of fear. I don't want to miss out on whatever God has for us, because of fear. So we don't want to make our decisions based on fear, and that's a tough one sometimes. Sometimes your mind gets the best of you. When you think about, if you let your head go down the rabbit hole, of all the possible things that can go wrong, you would certainly never step into anything really. So yeah.